brothers and sanguine sisters to Deeply Discussing Dexter. I'm your host, Dale Maxfield. I'm joined by Aaron Caldwell.
Hello.
Brooke Merritt.
Hi.
And Zach Rowland.
Hey!
On this episode, Deb figures out who Jordan Chase really is and forgets who she really is. Lumen has a Crocodile Dundee-style lesson in what a knife is. Dexter does Quinn a solid with Liddy's liquid. And Lumen remembers she's too expensive to stay on the show. What did you guys think about this episode overall?
This was not how a finale should be. There was no tension. There was no excitement. We knew what was going to happen.
Your whole review is not like this.
No. Yeah. Yep. That's it.
That's it. Your 4-line recap was better than this episode.
Should we just cut it now? Is it worth even going any further?
Let's
really?
Just discuss.
It's not like a better episode is coming.
Well, that's true. Sad truth.
Yeah, I didn't not like it.
That's a triple negative, my friend.
No, it's fine. I think, season finale, we get the big kill. The guy rides off into the sunset with the girl
for a minute,
and everyone's friends.
What sunset were they riding off to? There was a pretty.
Did you watch the end of this episode?
It's like, yeah, you guys.
Are you projecting what you wanted it to be?
Sure.
Did your parents stop Old Yeller like 10 minutes before the end?
That dog's still good,
Old
man.
Yeller, Old Yeller's still alive. He's still barking.
So you do know that Lumen died in the end, right? You caught that part.
Yeah. Lumen's urge to kill had one more name on the list, and it was herself. From the show, that is. Dexter tells Harry he's got an idea as to where Chase has taken Lumen. He opens the door to leave his apartment, and Aster, Cody, their grandparents, Sonia, and Harrison are at the door. Apparently, Aster decided they should all drive up and surprise Dexter and have the party in Miami. Aster and Cody ask if they can stay with Dexter for the summer. They miss him. He says they can. He misses them too.
Yeah, right.
But,
he forgot they existed, but...
Yeah.
He didn't mention their names in this because he'd forgotten.
Yeah, you and the smaller one. What's his face?
Goober. The Goober?
How's he gonna deal with them for the summer? He can't even watch Harrison.
Yeah, Harrison's been in Orlando for like a month at this point with Sonia. He's paying her like $20 an hour. Deb goes to LaGuardia to try and figure out how to get a hold of Chase. LaGuardia suggests a stake and notify to track Chase once they locate him. Quinn makes excuses for his unsuccessful trip to find Liddy. He asks Deb if there's still a race between her and the vigilantes to find Jordan Chase. Deb is going to rewatch all the rape DVDs to see if they missed anything.
Yeah, that's like the Netflix for her. It's like she's just going to go back and watch reruns of The Office.
It's like the opposite of her happy place.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. Dexter calls Chase to try to bargain for Lumen's life. Chase lets slip that Lumen is still alive at the moment. He hangs up, and Lumen starts struggling and making noise in the trunk. A fruit seller recognizes Chase and asks what's going on with the trunk. The light changes, and Chase speeds off. He drives to a secluded stop, opens the trunk, and knocks Lumen back out.
This was a slightly more violent callback to when Rudy had Deb in the trunk.
Yeah.
It was a fun little callback, but I liked that they were trying to build tension with the fruit vendor.
Yeah. And he recognized Jordan Chase, so that was a problem.
Yeah.
I wrote in my notes here that Chase drives a 7 Series BMW, so that's important for us to know. It's good product placement there.
Yeah. Do you think that those are fresh, like the fresh Florida oranges, or are those like imported from...
When they sell them on the street, yeah. They sell the Guatemalan ones on the street in Florida.
Right. Okay. I was just curious.
People are like, fuck these tree oranges, man. You gotta get street oranges.
You know, I'm an orange connoisseur, so I'm real into where the origin of the orange comes from.
They come from Florida. That's the answer.
Oh, okay.
Dexter goes to Miami Metro to see if they have leads on Chase. Deb has noticed that Cole, a.k.a. Suit Man, keeps looking off camera to someone. She thinks they're looking at Jordan for approval or orders. Deb tells Dexter she has to look at these things. She knows what it's like to be taken by some sick bastard. The photos of all the victims from the videos are all at the same angle and they're all screaming, which is a weird choice for the use of a still on a police board.
That's pretty gruesome.
Like, get him with some kind of negative, or not negative, neutral expression. Like, they don't scream for the entire DVD. That's not how screaming works. They don't just make that one face for the entire DVD.
Miami Metro. And
Let's see.
Masuka probably is the one who picked the stills, and he probably would like that.
He's face matching it because while they don't have a whole lot of stuff in their database, they do have a database of women screaming that they can face match it to. It's Masuka's personal database. It's just pictures he's taken of women leaving him. Dexter goes through Chase's holdings to try and find out where he would go. Harry reminds him that he wasn't always Jordan Chase. Dexter finds a property record guy and tells him that it's an emergency. LaGuerta announces that Liddy's body was found in his van. She sends Deb, Quinn, and Dexter to the scene, which is dumb. Super dumb, because Deb shouldn't be at Quinn's, or I don't know. It's dumb. Chase drives into the campsite named Camp Jordan, a.k.a. Camp Jordan is Jordan Chase's drag name. That's when he's Camp Jordan. He drags Lumen into the basement. Quinn quietly deletes all his voicemails from Liddy, super cop. Deb asks if Quinn knows what might have happened. Quinn asks Dexter if he has a feeling. Dexter says something might have come back to bite him.
You're right, Dale. That is stupid. That it's like all hands on deck for a cop who was discharged dishonorably. Like, why do they care so much, and why do so many people need to be there?
Yeah, and like Deb and Quinn are actively working the Jordan Chase Barrel Girls case, like multiple murders. Like, Liddy can wait.
Right. That's the one thing about Miami Metro. It's like when a murder happens, it's all hands on deck. And that's not really how it works.
No.
Like, not the entire department goes out and they're like, well, we all got to work together to solve this one. It's like two people working on a case, and it either works out or it doesn't. And then the lawyer, it goes to the courts and whatever. You guys know how it works.
Yeah.
I don't need to explain
it doesn't work
to you.
where, like, the blood guy goes to the scene for like 2 minutes, tells everybody what happened, and then leaves. That's not how it works.
Too good. He's too good.
Quinn stares at the body. Deb asks him what's wrong, and he says he doesn't know how to say it. LaGuerta interrupts and takes Quinn aside. Masuka finds the surveillance equipment, but the recordings are missing. They figure that whoever Liddy was spying on must have killed him. LaGuerta says the last 5 calls on Liddy's phone were to Quinn. Uh-oh. Quinn is iffy with LaGuerta about it. LaGuerta sees the blood on Quinn's shoes. Quinn won't answer any questions without a lawyer. LaGuerta sends a uniform to escort Quinn back to Miami Metro. Records get back to Dexter and tell him that Eugene Greer owns the camp. Dexter gets an address, steals a car, like, right outside of the Liddy murder crime scene, and drives off.
Does nobody wonder, like, he had to have ridden there with Deb or somebody, and he's just gone. He just took off walking into the hills.
Yeah.
I would have loved a moment where a bystander or somebody's just like, hey, your blood guy just stole someone's car.
Yeah.
Also, they think that they found blood on Quinn's shoe, and they don't have Dexter collect anything from it.
He breaks the window, and the camera pans over, and there's a van with Astor, Cody, the grandparents, and Harrison. And they're just looking at him like, what the fuck?
The magician.
Yeah, the magician's there. What the hell's he doing?
Just so happens that Harrison's party was in the same park where he was.
Cody found the body.
Yeah, we should be writing these episodes.
We're making a better episode
That's
again.
how Dexter found the location. Like, once he killed Liddy and jumped outside, he'd be like, well, damn, this is a nice open area.
I can get myself a Pontiac Grand Prix here. Jordan asks Lumen if she remembers the basement. It's where she was assaulted. Chase thinks that Dexter will come for Lumen. LaGuardia tells Deb that the surveillance equipment was checked out by Quinn, and that apart from Liddy's, Quinn's was the only fingerprints on the van. Deb goes in to talk to him. Quinn doesn't want to tell Deb about Dexter. He says that the only thing he can say is that he didn't kill Liddy. Harry tells Dexter not to underestimate the enemy. This distracts Dexter into flipping his car. Fuck you, Harry. You son of a bitch.
Dexter is the worst driver. The absolute worst. Let's see. Last season, he clipped some dude's window, which caused him to get detained.
That was after he wrecked his car.
And he wrecked his car.
In, like, the premiere, and ended up in the hospital with a head wound.
It was almost like they were like, oh, we have this little bit of extra budget money.
Yeah.
You guys want to flip a car?
Yeah, we're not going to have an actual chase in this.
No.
We're just going to flip a random car.
And they just did it not that long ago, so, it's already played out. We didn't really need to do another car accident.
Like, we got some extra Maria Doyle Kennedy budget left, because she's kind of gone now. Want to flip a car?
Yeah, I mean, well, this wasn't an SUV, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a piece of shit, like, old Pontiac Grand Prix.
They probably bought this off Craigslist for, like, $40.
Also, how has Dexter not lost his license at this point? I mean, how many car accidents do you have to get in before you lose your license?
It's Miami, Zach.
Oh, you're... Okay.
People die in Miami.
And sometimes they don't lose their license.
Sometimes they get murdered, but they never lose their license.
I wish that was on the license plate of Florida.
Sometimes people die in Florida. Sometimes they get
they're murdered.
Dexter crawls out with his kill tools and ends up at Jordan's feet. Jordan points a gun at him and tells him to get up. A uniform gives Deb a report from the Stake and Notify. The fruit vendor reported the chase, plus weird trunk noises. Deb says she'll check it out. Jordan has Lumen tied to a chain on the ceiling. He opens Dexter's kill tools. He's impressed. He takes out a knife and then puts it back in. He realizes one of the knives is missing just as Dexter drives it through Jordan's foot. Game over, Jordan. Jordan's foot is pinned to the floor. He can't move. Dexter easily gets him into a chokehold and knocks him out and starts to free Lumen.
That was almost like it was too easy.
Yeah. Almost like they had other stuff to do this episode.
We don't want to make this a struggle. Just stab him in the foot.
That's so stupid.
Stab through his foot into the somehow stabbable basement floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is likely not concrete or,
No, they made it out of sugar cane because it's Florida. Deb talks to the fruit vendor. She struggles to understand his Spanish in what's played for comedy. She figures out that Chase was driving toward a camp. Chase wakes up on a makeshift table. He says that he was able to transform Dexter, Lumen, and himself. Lumen stabs him and says it's for everyone he hurt. And she screams, "Do you hear me?" at him twice, but he's already dead.
And there it is.
And so's the show.
I still wish she would have instead said, "Do you hear me?" She should have yelled, "Take it! Take it!" Would have been hilarious, and then would have made still for a better episode.
Or if he had been like, "You want my life? Take it!"
Both of the villains in this season, I'm including Liddy in that,
Both of the Pillsbury Doughboy.
died in the most, like, boring way possible. Like, it was just like, this stuff.
Yeah, it's not the giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It's just the regular sized Pillsbury Doughboy. In both cases, just like hee, and they're dead.
Yeah, but they both get baked one way or another.
Oh man. Deb shows up outside the camp. Dexter and Lumen make plans for how to get rid of Jordan's body and later tip off the police about the dungeon. Deb finds the dungeon and Chase's body. She is separated from Dexter and Lumen by a translucent curtain. A very... very ingeniously placed translucent curtain. Deb says
they happen to have enough space behind it to do what they need to do.
Well, they both had to be back there at the same time going, okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll take Chase, and we'll dump him somewhere.
Like they just happen to be hiding behind the curtain.
Yeah.
They don't want Chase's body to overhear.
Right. It's so stupid.
I really honestly gotta say, like, this was a moment where I was like, man, I would have loved it if she came down those steps and saw Dexter and just been like, no, you know, just like it all unfolded right here, you know, and like take that into the 6th season and be like, how to deal with Deb knowing Dexter's a killer. Like,
wouldn't that be a fantastic plot?
Be great.
Why? You know? Oh my god!
Shouldn't they do something like that?
It was a perfect
really
moment, and they missed it.
They sure did. Because they wouldn't let them end the show. That's why everybody left at the end of season 5 again, and they had to start over again for season 6.
Oh, jeez.
So Deb says she knows who they are. Number 13. Lumen takes a step and Deb fires her gun. She tells them not to fucking move. Then she tells them they have an hour before the place is swarming with police and leaves the scene. Deb visits Quinn in his cell. She tells him she can't judge anymore. Quinn says he's glad she's there, and she promises to be there no matter what happens. Dexter and Lumen throw the last of Chase's body off the slice of life. Lumen paraphrases Deb and says that their survival and success is a miracle. Dexter steers the boat toward home, and Lumen sits on the bow, grinning, her hair blowing in the wind.
Friendship is rare. It's such a great little, like, see, off into the sunset. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, that's not the end of the episode, Zach. It looks like it.
The scene...
But it's not.
The scene where Deb is telling them that they've got, like, an hour before that place is crawling.
Go live your life, guys.
She talks about how she doesn't get to make decisions about who lives and who dies, but then she immediately makes a decision to let the bad people go. And I'm like, what do you do here, Deb? What is your point?
Dexter goes into work to test the blood on Quinn's shoe. Deb doesn't quite tell Dexter the whole story about what she found at the camp. Dexter returns to the apartment with supplies. He's excited about the party and the kids coming to spend the summer. But Lumen is upset. She has decided to leave. When she saw Chase's body disappear, her dark passenger was gone. Dexter asked her to stay. She says she can't stay with Dexter because he still needs to kill. Dexter throws a plate, but concedes that she's right. They're not the same. Goodbye, Lumen.
Stupid little tantrum too. Him throwing that plate. It was just so like a little kid when they get mad and throw their toy. It was just not even convincing.
Well, it's so not Dexter.
Exactly.
Right. It was stupid. It did not fit anything Dexter ever would have done.
No.
I mean, I think what they were going for was that Dexter had a emotional connection to her because she knew the whole him for who he was, and that was like a deeper connection than he'd ever had before. But as the viewer, we're like, yeah, but Rita, and still, but no. And then he just throws a plate. So.
Not only does she disappear from the show, I don't believe they ever mention her again.
No, why would they?
They,
Everyone involved with this season is gone. Like, there's no one to remember to write anything about her.
So the light just fades to black for Lumen?
I guess she goes back to Minnesota and marries that dingleberry that was like following her around. And
what we don't see is Dexter kills her, dumps her body, and we never see her again.
yeah.
He gives her that Lila treatment.
Yeah, that should have been the end of the episode, him just putting another slide in, not saying anything.
Right?
Harrison has a massive beach birthday party. Astor's birthday party plays. Angel tells LaGuerta he was impressed by how she worked with Deb. He wants to give their relationship another try. Because, hey, there's only 6 minutes left in the episode. Deb shows up with Quinn. Quinn tells Dexter thank you for the blood work. He says he owes Dexter one. Dexter tells Deb that he didn't like Quinn, but he wants her to be happy. Deb says she is. Dexter looks around at all the couples and ponders his situation and how difficult it is for him to make a connection. He removes his wedding band. Astor sits down and asks where Lumen went, and Dexter tells her that she left. Astor asks if Dexter helped Lumen and if it made him feel better about Rita's death. She puts a hand on his shoulder. LaGuerta interrupts with cake. The party encourages Dexter and Harrison to make a wish. Dexter stares into the camera, thinks wishes are for children, and blows out the candle. Merry fucking Christmas, everyone.
So
Yeah, that's a real like adult moment for Astor.
Yeah.
To ask him, like, that's some deep shit.
We're gonna miss Astor.
Serious shit is what that is.
It is. Serious shit.
Oh my god. Like, and Harrison didn't even get his own song. He got Astor's birthday party.
They haven't written a new song since series 1.
Oh no.
So, yeah. So any other thoughts about the wrap up here?
Yeah, I mean, they
I'm
had
just
their
glad it's
chance. Yeah. I think they had their chance to really go someplace with this, and they completely failed.
The Lumen 180 is ridiculous. I think that's
Yeah,
the
it really is.
most standout part of all of it that's ridiculous. You know, you're right that it would have been better if Deb had found out, and that was how they led into the next season. That would have been a much, much better decision. But this feels very much like they wrote season 5 not knowing if they were going to get a season 6, and they wrote the end of season 5, the last like 15 minutes of this episode, when they found out they were going to get a season 6.
And it kind of took some depth out of the character of Lumen, too, because then when she's just like the next day, all right, well, it's been fun, I'm going to go. Like, she just used Dexter all the way through just to help her get rid of these people. So it just takes any kind of emotional connection out of that character because she's just like, all right, peace out.
I think that they did a fairly, like, it's ridiculous that she makes the decision that quickly, but I do think they did a good job of framing it as she gets the kill, she looks happy, but then what she tells Dexter is that she couldn't sleep last night, and she's really thought this whole thing through all the way. That, like, she wants to stay with Dexter, but she knows that what Dexter needs is not what she needs, and she can't live with that.
That's something where if she would have been willing to stay for another season, and if they had known they would have the next season, that really I think could have been played, though, where you could keep her around and you see maybe, you know, into the next season, that evolution of her being like, you know what, I just can't do this. Rather than just an abrupt next day, all right, I'm done. To see that internal struggle more so than just I'm leaving.
Yeah, and that's the problem with, the end of season 4 being the end of an era of showrunner and writers, and the end of season 5 being the end of an era of showrunner and writers, is that they don't set anything up for the next season. Like, literally, they have to reboot the show again next season because Lumen's not in it anymore, and they're pretty much back to square one. Like, there's nothing else that Dexter's really up to except normal Dexter stuff, so they have to come up with a new idea, and boy, do they come up with a old idea. So this episode was directed by Steve Schill. He's a prolific director on Dexter, but this is his last episode for a while until he returns for season 7, episode 2. The writers were Chip Johansson and Mary Koto. Chip Johansson was the season 5 showrunner. This is his last episode before leaving the show to Scott Buck. Mandy Koto came onto Dexter with Chip Johansson for season 5. He ends up staying to the bitter end, co-writing the series finale with Scott Buck. What was the best line of the episode?
I liked when Deb asked him, you don't like Quinn, do you? And he was like, I don't like him at all. I loved how matter of fact that was.
Yeah, because you don't like Quinn very much.
No,
I don't like him at all.
Yeah.
I went with the Lumen killing Chase line, which he says, "That's not just for me, that's for everyone you hurt."
Wow, dude.
That's deep.
Deep.
You're having
That's
an
pretty
Esther
good.
moment right now.
That's not even as deep
That's
as the
pretty
knife
good.
was.
Hey, it may have cut into his toe just a little bit. I went with Deb when she's talking to the fruit vendor. I fucking swear I'm taking Spanish after this, just because I'm so sick of her not knowing Spanish being a plot line. So I hope it's true. I picked it as the best line because I really, really want her to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
You didn't like them bringing in Officer Manzone as her mouthpiece?
Who are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
That's not a person on Dexter, is it?
Bring in who? It cut out, and I kind of want to know who you were talking about.
It's like the Mandela effect.
Oh, okay.
The
Okay.
Manzone effect.
Does this like Sinbad show up?
yeah, as a genie.
Sinbad.
Who's the magician?
Sinbad played this Latina cop on this episode, on the show.
Okay.
This season?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Teaching them all about Santa Muerte.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I actually do relate with Deb, because just even today, I was coming in to my apartment with my fiance, and we had some of our wedding stuff, and there was a little Hispanic woman that lives here with her family, and so she saw the things and was like asking us questions in Spanish, and I speak a little bit, like I can kind of understand, but then she asked me something about like comida, and I was like, oh yeah, 2 months. And I was like, wait, and I had to look up what comida was, and I was like, that was the wrong answer.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're not a detective in Miami.
True.
So it's like it's acceptable for you to live next door to a Spanish-speaking family and not be able to speak the language.
But I still try.
Yeah.
I don't make it a jokey plot line out of my life. I'm just like, I'm really trying here.
You don't just shout Taco Bell Spanish until something happens.
Yeah. Gordita Crunch.
Yo quiero Jordan Chase. Oh man. How about the worst line of the episode?
When he says you should go work on finding joy to Deb.
That's awesome.
Man, I had forgotten that.
You should go work on finding joy.
Yeah.
That's pretty,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
I think
Pretty
somewhere
good,
like
bad.
there's like a synapse in my brain that just said, "A joy someone that Deb's looking for." That's what happened in this episode. I just forgot about it. That he's looking for
Joy is the
looking for
kickoff
Joy.
for the next season. They're going to look for Joy.
Spoiler alert.
We're gonna be
sorry,
looking for
I forgot. I
Joy
haven't
for
seen
a
it.
long
Joy is who
time.
they're looking for.
Brooke.
Yeah.
Right. That's true.
Joy's nowhere
I
to be
think the
found
Joy
in
has
season
already
6.
left us.
We're gonna have to make our own Joy from now on.
Yes.
I wanted to get just one last Masuka worst line in there for the season, because it's always fun to give him one. So he just says dexterous, and I hated it.
Dexterous.
I hated the line that Dexter said at the end where he's talking about "I'll carry it for you." When
Yes.
he's like, your darkness is gone. I'll carry it for you, for both of us. I'll carry it for you. I'm like, no, stop. This is the worst line.
He's gonna literally carry her shit from now on.
Yeah.
Her serious shit.
So bad.
Brooke, did you get one in there? The Joy one was
She
yours,
did
right?
the Joy.
That's right.
Yeah, hers was the Joy.
Sorry, it's already
yeah.
breaking my brain.
You gave
Yeah.
them a stroke.
It's
Did you
already-
just want me to say it again? Or?
No, I don't think I could take it again.
Is it you should go find joy or go look for joy? Because that could be different.
Manzone? What was the Chili Palmer? Damn it! What's the guy's name? What was
Chili
That's a different show.
What was the Chicky Hines memorial performance of the episode?
Oh man. I gave it to Deb because
For acting opposite of a translucent piece of plastic.
yeah, for having the balls, even though she said she didn't, to make the decision to let somebody live.
Guys are a miracle.
She found her joy.
Yeah, stop
Yeah.
that.
I'm gonna give it to Dexter's kill tools for surviving that car crash.
I picked Julia Stiles because who else was I going to pick? I mean, it's her last episode. I have Johnny Lee Miller's too, but
Yeah, I was like,
he was okay.
let's count off who we lose. We lose Lumen. We lose we lose Aster. We lose the
Aster's
babysitter.
not gone
But
forever.
we've lost Aster so many times that doesn't
The
have any
babysitter,
impact
yes,
anymore.
she is gone forever. She's only in like a brief part of the ending of the episode. We lose the showrunner.
It's pretty much an entirely different landscape next season.
So you're saying we lose all the friendship? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yep, there's no more friendship.
I'm out.
There's no joy. It's just serious shit. And I'm not even sure it's serious. It's definitely
Mostly
shit,
just
though.
shit.
So, yeah, Julia Stiles. Hooray, you've risen above whatever was going on this episode. I've already forgotten. Thanks, you guys, for helping me. I'm going to go and search the bottom of the bottle for some joy, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Deeply Discussing Dexter.